Hello everyone, welcome. Oh my gosh, my face looks so big in that screen. Anyway, happy Wednesday everybody. If you're in the East Coast, wherever you are listening, if you're a team replay, wherever you are listening, this is your host, Dr. Leland. Today you're gonna meet my partners in crime, although we're missing one, but don't worry, she's here in spirit somewhere, right? And before I do that, I actually wanted to share some information regarding Level Up Academy, but also the state of education in terms of higher ed. The K-12, we'll talk about that on Friday with my other K-12 educators, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about stats. Let's see if we can put this in perspective here for you. So who is Level Up Academy by Dak Leland LLC? Yes, I know it's in Tagalog right there for sure. And let's talk about college graduation stats. This is done by Melanie Hansen. All my citations is going to be at the end. But report highlights of college graduation stats indicate that bachelor's degree are the most sought after degrees out there. This is all in the United States, okay? 2 million people graduated in 2020. 49.8% of college grads earn bachelor's, 23 bachelor's degree earners take more than 4 years, and 24.9% college grad earn associate's degree, and so on. There's about 4 million or 20.4% of all college students graduated in 2020. If you look in here as far as degrees, this doesn't include like certifications or anything. We just start from associates to bachelor's to master's to doctoral or professional program, right? If you look at the bottom, I actually put the tags in here. If you see that most people are getting a bachelor's degree, this is stats from 2000 to 2020, right? And if you look at the associate's degree, it's the second highest that people look for. And then obviously the master's, it's slowly going up. And then the doctorate, it's there. It is going up. If you can see it from 2000, it was 118. Now it's at 190. So it is going up. But definitely bachelor's program and bachelor's degrees are the ones that are sought after more for all the graduates. Now, U.S. college graduation rate, it's really important. If you are college professors, if you are an admissions team, if you're an HR manager, hopefully you're a team replay. If you're not watching this live, get this information. I have the references for you. These are great stats that you can look at in terms of graduate earning bachelor's degree. 37.3% more bachelor's degrees were conferred in 2020 than in 2010. So you could see the progression of people that are getting degrees, right? College graduation rates at public institutions have increased 15% since 2010. Here you'll see where are people getting their degrees. This is super important, right? All that means from smaller universities, public universities as red, private nonprofit is the highest, and then of course the private for-profit. So a lot of the universities, actually I work for a nonprofit and I also work for for-profit universities, right? But as you can see, as far as the graduation, the lowest ever is that private for-profit. It goes up and down, it goes up and down. I mean, it went really down in 2002. 14.7, but their lowest was in 2019. You're like, what are these stats? These stats are graduation rates every single year. The most that people graduate from schools is private nonprofit, right? And then if you look in here, the public institutions like state universities and things like that, it has gone up. It has never gone down. So they're really making good efforts in terms of having students graduate and have earned their degrees within their universities. Now, historical graduation stats back in 1900, I know I'm talking really back here, right? 27,410 bachelor's degrees back in 1900, right? And it goes from 1940, it went to 4.2 million. That's 40 years. 4.2 million, because now we're on the industrial revolution, starting to get more automated, right? We have trains and things like that, right? 4.6% of the US adults over 18 years of age were four-year college graduates by 1940. Keep that in mind. Now, 1970, right? 30% of bachelor's program graduates major in education, and business is 13.7%. We had a lot of teachers then, right? Education, we had a lot of teachers. 50 years later, 19.5% bachelor's program graduates earn degrees in business, and then 4.2 degrees in education. Do you see that flip right there? People are like, no, we're going to make my own business, because the small business people are actually getting more, and they wanted to know more about how to do business. What are the things that we can learn from business schools, right? So if you see that flip, it was 30% for educators, and then now it went to 4.2%, right? It's like a little shift there that you see. 1970, 37.2% master's program graduates majored in education, and only 11.2% in business. Then 50 years later, look at that. Master's program for business degrees at 23% and 17% for education. Do you see how it's also flipping? Now, doctorate and professional degree in 1970 were 26.8%. We had a lot of medical doctors, right? Psychologists, psychiatrists. This is where we basically study all of the people's theories that we study even until today. This is where all the PhDs and all the degree earner for the doctoral or medical doctors, right? In 2020, 43.6% of doctorate and professional programs graduate hold degrees in healthcare. Now we really shift from education and business to healthcare. And I'm glad, because 2020, we know that, it started with all of our issues, 2021, right? 2022. And 18.8% hold degrees in legal studies. More stats. Bachelor's program graduates degree discipline. Look at the healthcare, look at the business, and other fields. And then, of course, the sciences, the history, and the visual performing, and engineering. Most states in the United States that actually have graduates, the most is California, followed by Texas. And then I think Florida is next. Right? These are the most states that have college degree earners, is in the state of California. I wonder if we have a lot. I think we do have a lot of population here too, but I wonder if we have more schools. I haven't thought about that. If we have more schools and universities in California than any other states. That's probably why we have more graduates as well. Now, this one is a private study that a master's program student was doing. And basically what he did was surveyed 1,000 college students. The question of the day was, what percentage of college graduates work in their field of study? Meaning, if you major in business, if you major in science, if you major in history, if you major in marketing, you are working right after college of that same degree that you've earned. 54% of college degree holders do not use their degree for their jobs, right? Mike actually talk about this in one of his live and one of my live together, that he has 9 years of schooling, but he doesn't actually use those degrees for his job now, right? That's just one example. 1,000 people, right, surveyed. That means 460 said yes, they work in their field of study, but the rest don't. So think about that for a minute, right? Sound of silence for a minute and said, wow, reflect on yourself right now. Are you on the 54%, right? Or are you in this 460, like pretty much saying, oh yeah, I work in this in my field with my degree. Now, roughly 53% of recent grads are unemployed or underemployed, and the average college graduate needs up to half a year to find their first employment. This was back in August of last year. My daughter says, "Mom, what is underemployed?" I'm like, "Oh, great question." I'm going to put it out there for people also to see that not having enough paid work or not doing work that makes full use of your skills is the definition of underemployed, right? These are key facts. Approximately almost 62% of high school grads enrolled in college. 53% of recent college grads are unemployed or underemployed. Because they need those soft skills, right? The unemployment rate for those with a bachelor's degree is higher. Is 4%. Mass media, so all your journalism, unemployment rate is at 6.2%. General ed is about 1.7 because we do need teachers. Okay, 41.4% of college grads are underemployed in their first job. That means they don't use full use of their skills that they've learned or abilities, right? And 74% of criminal justice are underemployed. More stats. This stats actually is about getting into a degree, higher degree, and what they're looking for when you get out of that degree. What are the people that are hiring you are looking for? You're looking at strategic thinking, communication skills. Versatility remains the source of confidence for recruiters, right? For graduate business schools. Look at strategic thinkers at 74%. That's in 2021. It just keeps going up. Strong communication skills. When I say communication skills, it's not just verbal. It's not just written. It's nonverbal as well. And definitely listening skills. And Javier, shout out to you, brother, for your post on listening skills today. Right? Versatile skill set, prepared to take on leadership roles, handle complex global business environment because we no longer have borders when it comes to business. So, top 5 skills employers look for, right? When you're looking for like, hey, I'm going to get a college degree. What am I looking for these students when I hire them? 5, critical thinking and problem solving, teamwork and collaboration, right? Professional, oral and written communication skills, and of course, leadership. Leadership. That's the 5 skills. Military. I have a lot of military students. What are the best degrees for military officers out there? Business, which is strategic intelligence, CJ, criminal justice, management information systems, or MIS, cybersecurity, counterterrorism, that would be where the degrees would be. Political science, obviously, if you want to go live in DC, right, or be doing political jobs. And of course, healthcare is also there, right? This is my reference where I got that information. Top skills recruiters look for in your resume if you're looking for a job. Adaptability, communications, written, verbal, nonverbal, organization skills, time management, structure. They're like, how do I look that for a resume? Well, what have you done? Are you doing multiple things or one thing at a time? They kind of look at, see how, right? And they look and ask you deeper for that. Integrity, problem solving, teamwork, responsibility, attention to detail, emotional intelligence, analytical and logical thinking. Top 10 skills recruiters look for in your resume. If you don't have this in your resume, put it in. Top 5 skills you need to land the job. Curiosity. Are you always continuously learning? Right? Learning agility. What kind of things are you learning? A growth mindset. How do you actually look for that? You can do that in your job by giving actually examples of what you have done in the past. Critical analysis, right? And of course, collaboration. Like you hear that word all the time, right? It works because you have to work with other people all over the world and even right here within the United States. So, Level Up Academy by Doc Leland. What do? We bridge the gap that you don't learn from your college degrees called transferable skills, okay? So you can be employable and also sustainable. How do we do that? We create courses from people who are already either teaching or have done really great job on making sure on their job that they are the expert, right? So I'm going to introduce you. This is my reference. I'm going to introduce you to my partners in crime. But first, what do? We have a drum roll. Yeah. And then what else do we do? I know I'm cheesy. I'm sorry. Here's Pete. And here's Jason. Welcome. Pete, introduce yourself.
So, thank you, Dr. Leland, for having me. My name is Dr. Peter Dufresne. I was pretty much the most struggling learner on the face of the earth. Anything bad that could happen to a bad student, I was the kid in the back of the class. I was retained in middle school. I almost flunked out of high school. But one of the things that someday I'm going to meet Angela Duckworth because I have a grit or stick to itiveness. And so, earned my PhD a couple years ago. Pretty proud of myself. I was a teacher, I was a principal for 16 years, and loved that work. I am currently the chief academic officer for a company called Nova Academy. We're an educational technology company. We work all over the world from Jakarta to Chicago. And it's been a terrific journey being able to pay it forward and help students who were like me, who needed just one adult to show a little interest in them. My PhD's in leadership and organizational development, and I'm also a founding member of Educational Support Services. We are a group of practicing educators who are trying to close the gap in really terrible professional development in schools today. And so, and lastly, self praise is no praise. Pretty proud of myself, though. I am co author of a book coming out on motivation for online graduate students that will be published late spring, and I am thrilled to be done writing it. So that's me.
Welcome. I'm so glad. It's so funny because I just saw Jason like, I think you need to advance that slide. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. I wasn't paying attention. I was just reading. I'm like, okay, I need a bell like CJ. Hello, I can't see your slides. I'm like, but you see what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have to share that if you guys weren't seeing it. But you heard the stats, right? It's pretty amazing. And I wanted to highlight before Jason is Susanna saying, hey, I'm not exactly using my degrees, or maybe I'm using them in a roundabout way. BS and Masters in History and Masters of International Management, right? And she loves writing. So maybe because she kind of talk about history. So that's really do that. Shout out to Mary Baker. I'm glad you are here. All right. Without further ado, Jason, take it away.
Yeah, my name is Jason Hurley. I have a background in change management, product development, learning and development, leadership, and coaching. And so I worked in the insurance industry for probably 17 years or more, and I have a background as a corporate L&D trainer. I currently work for an insurance company, and I oversee our branding and communication. So definitely happy to be here and seeing a lot of change within the industry itself.
I'm super glad you're here. Okay, so I'm going to ask this questions. We're going to start with Pete, actually. Um, why did you actually jump into my crazy idea of Level Up Academy? Talk to me. And then Jason after that.
I joined Level Up Academy for a couple of reasons. I was connected with Dr. Leland on another project, and we sort of clicked and decided that we could do some really good work together. The work is inspiring to me. It aligns with my values. I am in a position now where I am hiring people constantly. Our company is growing, and I'm having to upskill them myself. And that's okay, but it would be better if they came to me upskilled. And so part of what I do with education support services is we bring people in who share our values, and we upskill them, and then we send them out in the world. Dr. Leland was already doing that with Level Up Academy, so it made perfect sense to meld sort of our shared goals, and it's pretty nice that we work really well together. So I thought any partnership that had this much synergy should probably be worth exploring. So I'm really excited about the things that we're doing. both with Level Up Academy and Educational Sports Services, and heck, Nova Academy too. Why not? I can be excited about everything. I do see someone I'm sure you would like to introduce to our audience, Doctor. So let me hop off and welcome my colleague, Ishani.
Hello, Ishani. We missed you. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna finish Jason, and then I'm gonna ask you questions. So Jason, go ahead.
For me, it's really about the passion and the vision. I think you need to love what you do, and if you're passionate about it, taking that and giving that value as a gift to other people. So, for me, Dr. Leyland, everything that you're about, it resonates with me personally. I think the core values, what you believe in, the fact that you put it into practice and application is something that's huge for me. I've seen a lot of companies or organizations stray away from what they were founded on and the principles. So just being able to be a part of just that value add piece and giving back, that's big for me.
Thank you. Now, Ishani, you have two question parts. So the first one is just introduce yourself and how we met and why choose Level Up Academy to partner up.
Amazing. I'm so sorry for joining a little bit late. There has been a time zone clash in London and US timings. I'm based out of London right now, so that is and that is why there are I think the clocks had turned back a few hours ago, so maybe that's why. But hello everybody, I'm Ishani, and thank you, Dr. Leyland, for organizing this amazing live. And 100%, I still remember the day that Dr. Leyland and I met. And yes, I do call Dr. Leyland Dr. Leyland. It's become, I mean, it's really become sort of a habit for me right now. But we met on a course on instructional design by EduFlow, and we had like a really cool and amazing conversations on learning design and the kind of impact that transferable skills can really have. And little did I know that in a couple of months, I got a call from Dr. Leland, and she was just like, "Hey, I'm starting Level Up Academy, and we're going to be doing some amazing things." And I was just like, wow, this sounds totally awesome. And I think what I really like about the idea that I think Level Up is, and the reason why it's here as well, is because I as a student and as a bad learner, I'm going to say that out here as well, that I'm somebody who is constantly trying to find ways to learn in a more interactive way so that I can actually upskill myself in the workplace. Because at the end of the day, you really want an opportunity that will give you, that will tick mark all those job priorities, right? Whether it's a work life balance, a good compensation. And that's what Level Up is trying to do, is trying to harness that skill set for you so that you can find the right opportunity for yourself, so that at the end of the day, that's what I really like, because I know that the world is going through really bad financial crisis, and I'm part of this, and I'm not going to lie, and it's been very tough to manage so many things at the same time, with the recession going on, and then layoffs happening, and then not having any kind of certainty. So what do? You become your own superhero, and that's what I really feel Level Up is trying to do. And I can't wait to have so many more discussions. And it's been so great so far, because the idea of having a really good kind of value added system in yourself now is I think the need of the hour. It's not about kind of education, it's about the skill sets that we have. So yeah.
Thank you, Shani. Speaking of that, Level Up Academy actually, and you're probably wondering, like, a lot of people actually wanting to be in Level Up Academy throughout the months. It's brand new, super brand new. I'm not hating on you guys, the one that wants to join, okay? I'm not. I actually asked some people to join too. It's just that I want to crawl like a sloth. Like, think about a sloth, like, just to raise the hands. That's me right now. I want to be able to solidify the mission first with my core people, and really grow, because I believe that we can scale but also sustain. That's my big thing, is sustain, right? And what do we do? How can we help you, right? The problem really that I showed you the stats is that we are stuck in a hard place. We want the hiring managers want you to have a degree, so you get whatever degree that you can, but then you're not using that degree, so your time and money is wasted. Then you're like, oh, how now I'm graduating, I'm gonna make money. You can't, because you don't have the soft skills that you need, like emotional intelligence. Yes, I do. No, you don't. You're not gonna survive that job, believe me, right? And when you become a leader, you really don't have any support at that point. And that's what we do. We create courses for you that are not like universities, right? It's only 4 weeks that we create it. And the courses, for me at least, my course is going to have 1 hour live interaction with me, but it's not here. It's through Zoom because it's private. It's only for us to see if you're in the class. We also do free workshops. So we talk about free workshops. I'm going to hand the mic to Jason because he has one coming up on March 29th. If you go to our website, luabydoc.leland.com, LUABYDOCLEY.com, you'll see that under the workshop, there's literally free workshops every single month from each one of us, all the way to December. I know we don't have time in there, but we're trying to figure it out. We're busy people, right? But we also want to help you level yourself up. So Jason, take it away. Talk to us about your March 29th event.
Yeah, so the March 29th event is going to circle around the wheels of wellness. And in the event, we're going to take a deep dive in looking at the origin on the wheels of wellness, where it originated, how it's evolved over the past couple decades, and really the impact that it's making on everybody, to this very day. Um, we're going to take a look at the different quadrants within the wellness wheel and really talk about what resonates with us the most. To me personally, I think the collaboration piece is going to be huge. That to me is where the magic happens. I think if you've taken any class or been in any lecture hall or seminar, you really find the value in being able to talk to your colleagues and realize that, hey, I'm not the only person that's feeling this way. Wellness to me is so beautiful because it's not a respecter of persons. And what I mean by that is we're all on a personal journey with wellness day in and day out. I think it's a continuous process. I don't ever believe you think you could just arrive because every day has something different. So it really is just a great time for brothers and sisters to really fellowship, collaborate, and learn and grow with each other and really talk about wellness and meeting each other where we're at and joining alongside on our own personal growth and journey. So, yeah, we'd love to have you on 329 at 11 a.m. Central Time, and I'm looking forward to the collaboration.
Awesome. All right, Pete, let's talk about your class. What is your class going to be like?
So my class, my first class is about wildly successful leadership techniques, something we can all use in a leadership position. I've been fascinated with leadership since I was a young person, the art and science of getting others to do what it is that we want them to do, to meet, in this case, organizational goals. So we will put leadership in action. We will cover historical leadership. We will look at case studies of great leaders from Golda Meir to Genghis Khan, who was a fantastic leader, whether you agree or not. He certainly moved mountains, literally. And so really, though, those are just a context to work within our own. Some of our case studies will be our own. Will be discussion based. It'll be interactive. I do not do well sitting down for a long time. In fact, my desk doesn't even have a chair in it. So we will be moving and we will be practicing leadership techniques and ways to lead in the ways that your team needs. It's probably a worthwhile investment of 4 weeks, if nothing else, to listen to my really hilarious dad jokes. But frankly, we'll also learn a lot about how to deal with toxic environments, how to deal with toxic employees and toxic bosses. We've all been in those situations, and how to turn negatives into positives. and how to use your skills to get all of the arrows pointing in the right direction so that you can meet your organizational goals and be the best leader that your team needs. Or if you're a team member, how to step up into a leadership role. You don't need to be in the C-suite. You don't need a title to lead. And frankly, if you're not in those places and you'd like to be in those places, start to be a leader and you'll be in those places before you know it, because organizations want good people. There we are. That's what we're doing.
That is so true. I agree. Like, get those moving. So I'm just gonna see, like, Pete. So leaders today, stretch. Okay, breathe. Hold your breath for a second. I can just see Pete doing that. Honestly, like, seriously. That's why we get along, because we're like all over the place, right? TikTok made me. That's what I always tell my people. I'm like, no, I didn't do it. I swear, TikTok did that to me. And they're like, CJ, that's an excuse. I'm like, no, my brain is like 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And it's so, funny, but the stats that I was giving you guys today, the top 5 skills employers look for, okay? Remember those top 5 that I showed you. Maybe you didn't see it because it wasn't moving, apparently, in my slides. But the top 5 skills is critical thinking and problem solving, right? Think of the time that you didn't use critical thinking and problem solving at work. Teamwork and collaboration. Like my team right here, plus Mary Baker and Joanna and Susanna, they're all here, right? Collaboration, because it makes you feel good when your team is supporting you, right? Professionalism and strong work ethic. Show up when you're supposed to show up and don't be, not be ready to do it. Always improv. I love it because Mary Baker always tells me improv is the best, right? Also, oral and written communication skills. And then, like what Pete said, leadership. And those things I will be teaching in my course. A lot of those things are going to be emotional intelligence, critical thinking, your learning style. Like right now, do you guys know what your learning style? If you do, perfect. If you don't, we're going to learn that. What is your learning style? And you're like, why do I care? Because if you know your learning style, like for me, I'm kinesthetic learner and I'm a visual. So like if someone was talking, literally I have to have a notebook and write it down because I need to see it. And don't think I'm doodling. I can't draw anyway. You're not even going to figure out what I'm drawing. And I can't even figure it out. So I just take a note and look at it because I'm that type of learner. Right? If you know who you are as a person, you will be that much better as a worker, as a leader, as a follower, as a friend, right? Because we do that. And I'm going to put it to Ashani. What is your class going to be? I'm going to unmute you, Ashani. Unmute.
Sorry.
There you go.
It's crazy. I was like talking away. But yeah, Dr. Leland and Peter, as you kind of directly, Pete, as you directly pointed out, in terms of those skills that we really need today, in terms of not only handling, toxic environments, but also those 5 leadership skills that we really, really need today. I think this course is going to covers all of these aspects, but through a very different lens. And this lens is something that I've been a part of for years now. I originally worked at UNDP for quite some time, and over there I discovered sustainability and ESG. So I really, really did my research and kind of figured out why a lot of people talk about this but are not really, really interested in this. But the truth of the matter is that sustainability and ESG in today's time is a revolutionary domain to be a part of, because it unlocks you into a new economy, into a new world where you can find opportunities and make opportunities out of this domain. A lot of people think that, hey, sustainability, it's only related to the environment. But trust me, as I say this, I created a platform called Sustainer, which has more than around 50 businesses now on that platform. All of them are eco-conscious. And once they actually understood the meaning of sustainability that I kind of told them as well, after having several conversations, they were just like, oh my God, this is such a unique opportunity for me to start something in this space. And a lot of us today over here, due to so many new opportunities that are coming up, are slowly and slowly moving towards this industry, because this industry teaches you how to be more ethical. It teaches you the skills that you really need in terms of investing in the right stocks, with, like, for example, sustainable finance. And this is all going to be a part of my course. So my course is going to help you. It's called Sustainable Business Strategy 101, and it's for everybody who wants to try and integrate sustainability in their projects, so that you can make your projects more persuasive. You can actually get that funding that you really want for your project, because sustainability has become a very, very important variable, as I'm speaking to you right now as well. And after benchmarking so many companies like a McKinsey or an EY, every single consulting firm, I'm not going to lie, now they have sustainability led academies as well, because a lot of people are wanting to move into this space. The unique part about this course is that you get all of this information that you really want to know about sustainability in only 1 month, and you can do it at your own pace. You don't really need to kind of go online and then constantly come back. All the resources are available to you, and you can become an expert in sustainability in 1 month and actually get that ROI on your projects. And it's really weird, but it's sustainability. It's having that ESG variable, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So that kind of sums up my course, and I'm really excited to launch it today.
Me too. April 1st is when our courses are going to be out, so we'll have more information on those. These are our courses. Leadership is going to be for Pete. He's going to be leading that. Managing your boss, that's me. And I have a twist in there, actually, about managing your boss. Because usually you're like, managing your boss. Boss manage us. I'm like, you are the boss. We're going to manage up, right? We're going to take our intentions to the core, meaning like if you want to do something with your life and yourself, you manage yourself so you can manage anybody else. Up, down, left, right, doesn't matter, right? That's how we're going to manage that. Susanna says, sustainability is more than environment. It was my specialization for international management, and I work in this field too. It includes economy, society, and well-being, as well as environment. Yeah, I wish you were on Ishani's February one. That was kind of cool. Now, my last question, because we only have until like 10:30. So my last question for each of my member, I'm going to talk to Pete first, is how, as a business owner, really, how do you keep yourself going? A lot of people ask these questions. How do you keep yourself motivated? Because there's days you're like, no, that's me sometimes, right? What ticks? What keeps you going?
For me, I enjoy the work. I picked a cause that I care about to build my business around. And so on those days, and owning a business is a grind. And I'm a part of a business that has, people, we all have day jobs. And so this is a passion project for us, really. And I think if it wasn't our passion, it would fail, because the hours I spend developing courses and learning how to use things like StreamYard, which I now have to learn, and all of these different things, honestly, when I'm working on them, I get excited, because it's another tool for us to do something that is meaningful. It's, when I was a principal, it was easy, right? Being a high school principal is sort of terrible work and kind of selfish work, in that you're at the end of a journey, and seniors, particularly this time of year, they start to get a little weepy, a little emotional, right? Remember, they went up and hugged your favorite teacher, and I was very close to the kids, and I still am, to the students that I work with, but I don't get that anymore. But I'm helping them indirectly by providing a service where they're going to get really well trained teachers. And so it's that passion. If I were making widgets, I would have a hard time getting motivated to get up every day. And I'm not making widgets. I feel like I'm still turning out. I used to always say at budget time in front of school committees, you can't cut my budget, because I'm not making paper airplanes here. I'm not making, scooters. I'm making good human beings. And what else do you have in your budget that's better than that to invest in? And I take that same sort of And once the passion goes, I will stop, because it is a lot of work, but we enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. So I can't think of doing anything else. In fact, I'd like to just do it full time someday, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen soon.
Yes, it is a passion project. It's all about personal accountability. I know Shani and I were talking about it last year because literally I'd started in August of last year. I'm like, let's go. And then I just had so much going on in my life. These guys have been super patient with me. I haven't even told them like last year it was too rough. Like I want to just give up life, everything. Just wanted to go to a crawl to a cave and don't have to see anybody because I felt so worthless and useless at the same time. I went to that hole last year and no one knew, right? Because I always have my face and I'm always smiling, but deep inside I was cutting in pieces. Like I just couldn't help myself, and these guys motivated me without them even knowing, because I'm like, okay, CJ, it's not about you. Like you literally had a shiny for 3 months on this, like let's go, you know. But it was really hard for me. What motivates me is the people that I work with, that I could see their heart. I only will want to work with people who have heart, because this is not for the faint of heart. Being a teacher, being a course developer, dealing with me when I push your button like, hey, and they're like, oh, okay, fine. It's not for the faint of heart, but we do it for the community, because Level Up Academy is about inspiring the world. Jason, what about you? What keeps you going? What ticks?
I think for me, I think back 20 years ago, and I think about all the people that kind of made deposits in my life personally. And I always want to pay those people back. And I have kids, and I coach, and I have different deposits that I make in people's life. But I think it's really honoring the people that's poured and invested in us. And for me personally, it's giving back and being able to say, hey, somebody took time to invest in me when, I mean, quite frankly, I maybe did not see it at that point in time. And if I could do that for somebody else, and they in turn do that to somebody else, that to me is the effect where you kind of make that difference and you change the world. And so I'm a firm believer it happens one interaction at a time, one person at a time, maybe one course at a time, whatever it is, you're making a difference. So for me, I'm all about that, because when I go to bed and, lay my head down on my pillow, if I know that I gave back and I gave everything I could, day in and day out, to just one person, it's worth it. It's worth it. And so for me, Level Up Academy, just leveling up and being able to play a role in somebody else's life and leveling up, that's money can't buy that. You know what I mean? So to me, that's my why.
FYI, Jason literally had no complaints. He's not a teacher, okay? He has never developed a curriculum. And that's a challenge for him. But I said, look at it this way. Now you know this life, right? It's like being in a gang. Like, now you know how to do this, right? Literally, I spent time and hours with him. I'm like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is how you're going to see. He's not a sloth. He ran with that thing and didn't even 1 minute, nothing, no complaints whatsoever, right? So if you're looking for somebody on any projects that don't complain, all of these team members really, but Jason just like, okay, let's go. Like he was just ready to go. I'm like, wait, so if I tell you to jump on a plane, you would just ask how high? Like, what? And I love this team. I could not, whether we work out in the future or not, whatever, because I know that people have their lives too. I love this team. I will never take that back, because this journey has been a rough one for me and no one actually knows about it until today. Like, yeah, I almost wanted to commit myself in a mental hospital. That's how bad it got for me. I was crying every day, and my makeup was this thick because my eyes were dark circles. Okay, I'm vain. Hello. So I pulled my makeup. I'm like, in the Zoom, and I was dying. And I was working full time still, and I was dying. It was just bad. And that's why now, if you want me to be on anything, not before 9 a.m. because I do my meditation and I do my yoga and I work my dogs before 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. we can do that. But before 9, don't ask me. It's not happening, right? Okay, on Saturday sometimes at 8. But I really needed to take my mental and my willness to the next level for me to be here for my team. So that's for me. How about you, Ishani? Like, you're crazy with going with me, right? You're like, you're India. I'm like, where are you exactly right now? Are you in London? No, I'm in India. Okay, where are you in India exactly? Wait, what? We meet sometimes at 11 p.m. my time, right? And sometimes we meet at 7 a.m. my time. Ishani is very flexible too. So talk to me. What crazy ideas you're like, I'm going to stick with Dr. Leland even though she's nuts and she's demanding.
No,
What
no,
tips?
I'll be very honest with you, Dr. Leyland. I'm somebody who, so my niche as well, in terms of what keeps me going, and the reason why I'm so interested, like nobody knows about this niche, creating courses in ESG. Not a lot of people know about it. And I feel that there are thousands of people like me, whether I'm in India or I'm in the UK. I'm always somebody who is constantly thinking of solutions, because I come from a background that's really taught me on this whole idea of that when there is difficulty, what you really need to do is just find a solution. That's always been that. Yeah, I know the Indian mindset has always just been very strict. Like, I come from a family where, people are just like, okay, you've done your crime, now get to work, get to action, like do what needs to be done. That's why that's why I'm such a crazy person, because I'm constantly finding out solution. Okay, Shani, this doesn't work, we have to move to point B. Okay, if this doesn't work, we need to move to point C. Come on, we have to do this. Because, and the reason what really keeps me motivated is because of this, because I know that there are so many billion people in the world who have a niche, who have a specialization, and it can be anything at all, and they're still trying to figure out a way on how they can get respected for what they do. And this is what I'm trying to establish over here. I'm trying to establish a place for those misfits, for the misfits that are there in the world. Like, I'm really inspired by Steve Jobs' story as well, that how he was a misfit in his college, how there are so many people who have different skill sets and they're not being able to replicate that in the real world. And I want to position myself as a thought leader in this field of growing technologies, of discovering new worlds, whether it's the metaverse, whether it's AI, whether it's ESG. So I guess I'm kind of somebody who's always open to new opportunities, and somebody who's wanting to create opportunities for everybody in this world. And that's what keeps me going, because I know all of us want to create an impact in this world. I know that we can only do that when we actually collaborate. That's why I really love Dr. Leland's philosophy of collaborating, because sometimes the power of one is good, but if we have somebody like a team of more than that, than the power of one, then we have an army, and we have an army of skills. And I really believe in that concept. That's why I studied education. A lot of people keep on asking me, why did you do education, why did you study education? Because I was just like, it's a powerful weapon. You learn how to what makes people interact with so many different things. You are a god in if you think about education. It's almost like you're giving people that superpower, like I said before. So that's the person that I really want to become. I want to become somebody who can unleash that kind of mental capacity within our own brains, and go from that level 0 to level 1. That's why I love Level Up Academy, because it has the word level in it.
Super Mario. I was like, okay, first we're a superhero. Now we're a gang of misfits. What else do we want to do? We're confused at this point, but you know what? We're not confused about is leveling up for all of you guys. Okay, for sure. Oh my gosh, now I'm thinking of a cape. Great, Ishani. Thanks. I don't even think there's a pink cape, but I'm gonna have to do that. Pete's not gonna be happy with it. Pete's like, no, no. Jason's like, nah, I don't know. I like you, but I don't like you that much. It ain't gonna happen.
I'm more like the Flash.
Oh, the Flash. See, no, I'm a sloth. Like, I can't run. Like, people run. I'm like, have fun. And I can't bike. So I'm like, oh, I can trike. There, 3 wheels. I can do that. Like, my husband drives fast car. No, I'm a grandma driver. I'm like, I'm going to point E, D, F, slow and steady, but I'd be there in one piece. I don't do that. California people are crazy. For the last minute before we end, what is your hopes and goals for yourself, for your business, and for also Level Up Academy? Let's start with Pete.
My hope for Level Up Academy is that we are here 10 years from now talking about, these days when we were starting out as a small team and the work that we did. My hope, frankly, for my own business is the same, that we're talking about doing really good work and the work that we've done together and hopefully the good that you put out in the world. At the end of the day, I think we all want to make sure that our lives have value. And unfortunately, I'm not Michelangelo. I can't paint. I can't hit a baseball 400 feet. But I can do this, and I can do it really well. And I just hope in 10 years we're all physically together and having a great conversation about some of the good work that we did. So those are my hopes.
Have to unmute myself. Okay. Hi, Jason. How about you? What's your hopes?
I think to show that you could do things different and accomplish the same result. I think so many times, we get put in a box, and if you fit in the box and, you can only do it this one way because it has to fit in this box. And I want to break that status quo. I want to break that mold. I want to show that there's more than one different way to add value and level up, and you could actually maybe supersede the way than it used to be done traditionally. And I like this because this is different. It's something that is outside of the box, and it is something that is really moving to that value add. So 10 years from now, I want this to kind of be the hey, remember when they tried this, or remember when they did it this way, and I want this to become the norm, and I want to take this and give it to the kids, and give it to the next generation to show that hey, leveling up has value, and this is how you do it, and to be able to be a part of that at the ground level, that to me is that's worth it.
Ishani.
Yeah, I just wanted to resonate with what Pete and Jason talked about. And yeah, I think the hope that I really have from Level Up Academy is that, again, I really hope that, 5 years down the line, I can actually go up to people and tell them that, we have we have such a beautiful organization that gives you opportunities without you having to invest too much. And that is the beauty of education and of skilling up, because it's kind of something that leaves you with such a beautiful gift. It leaves you with talent, and it leaves you with skill that you can use for the rest of your life. And I feel that's one product that is not has I mean is not there in the world. And we would be one of the few organizations that would be really supporting that. And I really hope that people make the best out of these courses that are going to be a part of Level Up Academy in the space of sustainability and leadership, and how to actually handle different stakeholders, because I believe that these are the skills for the future. And we are slowly, actually not slowly, in a really fast pace, progressing towards it. So it's better that we have this amazing gift that we're really working hard to create, and we can assure that it will bring value to your lives. And I hope that for my business as well. I have businesses in the field of sustainability, as well as something that I launched quite recently called SkillOps, which turns your skills into an opportunity, and it's a skill tech consultancy platform. And I'm trying to do something that can really help enable a lot of people to find jobs and gigs and opportunities in this really harmful time of recession. And that is what is has been my life journey, is to just constantly provide value and opportunity to everybody, and to ensure that this domain of talent and skills it becomes a beautiful product by leveraging the best of technology in the world in 2023. So yeah, that's
That was so beautiful. Like I'm okay. If you guys don't know, I'm emotional. Okay, like I cry. I'm like, wait, I have makeup. I can't. I gotta keep it in. Like, keep it in, CJ. Do it later after the fact. But honestly, I'm so touched. And what I love about Level Up Academy is, you know, when you work for someone and you're like, it's a conflict of interest. Don't talk about that. For me, I welcome it. If you own your own business and you already have something that you want, you definitely could work for us. I just right now I'm slowly getting there, okay? Because I wanted to make sure that our foundation is strong. Pete and I have seen it where we went from 5 to 15 to 35 to nothing, right? And so that's why I learned from that mistake. But also, you meet great people. What I want you guys to know, you're probably wondering, well, how much is your course? Is it going to be like an arm and a leg? University will charge you between 2,000 to sometimes 5,000, right, per class, depending. For us, I want it to be affordable because my main thing is, you know, making sure that we're inspiring the world, but we also put so much time into it. So we want to get paid even just a little bit, right? So it's going to be, our classes are going to vary, but most of our classes really at the core is about $4.99, and it should be affordable for everyone, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you can level up, but at the same time, it's not going to hurt your pocket so much. But we'll have courses that, like, maybe here and there that are small, maybe for $19 or $20, just to kind of help you guys out in terms of that. But at the end of the day, we really just want to make a community where you could level up. If you want to do consulting with Jason, or if you want to do consulting with Pete, because he also has his own business, and so is Ashani, go for it. Please connect with them, right? This is what's all about. It's collaboration, because we want to make sure that we help each other. We're not a competition. We're collaborators, because each and every one of us, even if we do the same thing, it's not really the same thing, because it's from our point of view, from our own environment, and from our own experiences. So we so appreciate you. I have really, Mary Baker's been here, Susanna, Paul, Joanna, who else was here? Thank you so much for being here. Mandeep was also here for a hot minute as well. I just want to make sure that I shout out to the people who are here. Thank you so much. And I have a lot of team replay. Guys, thank you for being here today for Level Up Academy. Now they know the faces. They don't just see it on the website. They know who you are. It doesn't capture who you are, but at least a little bit of who you are and what you stand for and where you came from, and of course your charm, right? Thank you again. I appreciate you being here. And here is the last thing that we need to see. Thanks for watching another episode of Level Up Academy today, brought to you by your none other host, Dr. Leland. Please do not forget to hit subscribe or push that notification bell, so anything that we have an activity on at Level Up Academy, you will be the first one to know. If you would like to be a guest in our podcast, both on the MP3, audio only, and also here on live in our YouTube channel, please let me know. DM me. Let's connect. Have a fantabulous day. Bye, guys.